Welcome to Wake and Jake. Me and Jake are going to go over hot projects, macro outlooks, everything in between. But as with all MVHQ productions, just a reminder that this is rated NFA for not financial advice. Always do your own research, make your own financial decisions. And as usual, we're going to get things kicked off with some talking points. But we'd love to hear from you guys, hear your opinions. Feel free to unmute and jump in if you want to share. Jake, how are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, doing great. No, we're just chopping up a bit, but I'm excited, feeling excited about the market right now. I feel like we got some weekend chop, but we've recovered a good amount from the dip that we had. We're basically back to where we were, if not a little bit higher. And some spikes, especially like Ethereum's doing super well, which is great to see. We got a lot of alts popping off, a lot of gaming stuff, a lot of AI stuff. I think it's super just bullish market structure in general right now, with a lot of stuff looking like it's going to pop. So I'm excited for this week. I think it's going to be a really good week in general for crypto. I just have that feeling.
Ooh, love to hear it. Yeah, I'm super intrigued to hear your thoughts on this week in particular, because we've been just bullish for so many weeks consecutively, and I think kind of maybe a couple of days ago there was just a tinge of I don't know what happened. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it, but it seemed like people were like, oh, recession's back on the table and stuff like that. So didn't look too hard into it. Figure, hey, everybody's going to react on the day of, but we'll see how things unfold. So great. Yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts there. It's a cold morning here in the South, but the markets are keeping us warm. Bitcoin is at 52K. ETH is at 2.9K. Yeah, man, you want to take us through the macro, just how you're looking at this week?
Yeah, it's interesting. We've seen Bitcoin slow down a bit from where it was last week. We're seeing Bitcoin dominance slow down. It had its pretty huge spike over the last week. What was the last week? The 12th? Yeah, we saw, I think we were around 48K around then. It's looking like when we were doing our show, and then kind of spiked all the way up to about almost 52K now. About really, really good. It's 10%, it seems like. And then we saw a lot of alts kind of follow. I think Bitcoin slowed down over the last few days. Just ranging a bit. It's not looking bad at all, in my opinion. I think it looks like we're probably ready for another leg up here pretty soon. There's not really any big resistance marks from what I can see until around, from people I follow that I trust, probably until around 58K is probably one of the biggest ones. I think that's the monthly resistance. So at the moment, I'm still feeling really good about it. I think, again, the bullish chart, and the most important chart in crypto right now, continues to be this Bitcoin ETF inflow chart, which I'm going to post. Actually, the DGens NFT collection, who OSF and Mando, I'm sure a lot of people know, they run that collection, and they have a tracker for the ETFs. So I just posted that. It's pretty nice. It gives total, and then each one shows outflows and stuff too. And as we're seeing, it continues to be just green, heavily in the hundreds of millions every single day of buy pressure on Bitcoin. So, I mean, just last week in total, it looks like, if I can do this quick math, it was around 100, almost about 2 billion in buy pressure on Bitcoin and inflows. That's insane. It's a lot of money to be coming in, and if that continues, even in a bit of a fraction, even half that, that's still very good in my opinion. And that's going to continue to push price up, especially, we're seeing actually Bitcoin on exchanges fall too. So it could be a bit of a supply squeeze in what's, circulating out there. I think Coinbase right now is the lowest supply of Bitcoin that they've had since 2015. So 9 years, almost 10 years, just because of all this ETF inflow. I think, we're going to see a supply squeeze soon, and we could get some pretty nice candles. I'm feeling very bullish, and of course, Bitcoin leads the way in the crypto market. So other things follow. We've seen this ETH resurgence, right? Where, in my opinion, it's kind of one. It's kind of a couple things factored in. One that's it's due almost, whereas like ETH's been lagging for so long that it feels like, people who, missed out on this huge Bitcoin pump, like want to get in on the next thing. And that's of course the next like safest thing as well. And that's obviously Ethereum as the big number two. And the fact that we see how bullish these ETFs are for Bitcoin, and we know that there's already filings for this ETH ETF, and this decision has to be made by May. So I think people are, again, like markets are so forward looking, they're looking to front run the ETH ETF now. And I think that's going to be kind of the new narrative here for a little bit, where ETH is going to be the outperformer, where people want to front run, these other ETFs because they see just how bullish that this Bitcoin ETF is. I think it's surpassing even like the most bullish people's expectations in terms of volume. Like it's destroying. It's by far like the biggest ETF, volume in general in like TradFi markets, like for like an asset class so far. So yeah, just in general, I think that's kind of what's going on. And I think when ETH pumps, and like a lot of alts will pump too. We're seeing a lot of stuff, really getting some legs lately. Like I mentioned, like AI and gaming stuff is like really popped off. Like if you look at like Prime, Parallels cards, they're a combination of both. So they're doing excellent. The WorldCoin stuff, people kind of just see that as like even though it's not really. I don't know if their tech is really AI in general. Like I said, is a little bit, but it's obviously by Sam Altman, who's the open AI guy. So people see that coin as a big AI one, and a lot of people are trying to get in on these smaller cap stuff. And then we see, maybe I don't know if THC if you played this game at all, but Pixels just dropped today, and that was a game where people could farm for free, and they got a pretty nice bonus. And we saw before, like a little bit ago, Mavia was the one that people could farm for free, and they got a decent little chunk too. So we're seeing a lot of gaming stuff go off, which is really cool. Interested to get your take on the gaming stuff, actually, THC, because I know you're in the streets there. If you have, anything you're looking at or anything you've been farming on the gaming side.
Oh man, yeah, I have too much to say. I'll try and keep it short on the those two specifically, the Pixels and the Mavia. Man, that was like a reopening wounds. Man, I had the Mavia staked for, I don't know, it's been like 2 years now. Sold it a couple months ago. Lost all of those tokens that had earned while staking. So that was max pain. And then the Pixel, man, I farmed some scarrets. Man, you can ask Silva. We were out there in the farm. Going ham, but again, just didn't stick with it. Let all my crops wither and die, and did not qualify for the airdrop. You fell out of rank. You had to just perpetually be logged into that thing, and if your crops ever missed, then you would just plummet in the ranks. Like trying to stay in the top 10K. It was a sweat out there in the fields. So yeah, didn't manage to stick with either one of those. But I mean, I'm happy for the people that did cook, because like you said, it's free. It's just just playing the game, which is phenomenal. But so happy for those that won, just angrily from the sidelines, just mugging. Happy for you.
Yeah, man. There's I think there's another one. I think people have been farming the Saku monsters. Maybe that is a nice little cook too. Kind of what we've seen in the Pixels and the Mavia. I honestly have not been doing that. I probably should have been. But I hope that one ends up cooking for people too. I know that one's kind of in the similar
route. Is that the egg?
Where
is that the egg one that you tap?
Yeah, it's like the egg thing.
Got it. Cool. Yeah, I got my wife on that one. I have an iPhone, so I was like, hey, get this app. She's been on it. She's ranked like 6K or something. She's like, am I still supposed to be tapping this egg? I'm like, yeah, until further notice. That's pretty much how everything in the space goes. It's like, don't slip up. You hear the horror story of me and my bags of rotten scarrets that don't qualify for an airdrop. You got to stay on it. That's hilarious. I guess. Sorry, go ahead, please.
Sorry, just one quick note on that in general is just like, I think people have a lot of PTSD, from the bear and stuff. But if you remember back to like last year, Bull, if you were around during then, like there was a lot of free money opportunities where you had to do very little work. So I think, especially if you're someone who's like really trying to build a bankroll and you don't have a lot of money that you're putting in, like going for these opportunities where you're just consistently grinding like a game or something every day, where it's very low cost or even free, can be more worthwhile than what you really think. And I think, even putting a little extra time in to like do multiple wallets can certainly help too. I think we're kind of getting more and more into that phase of the market where these games that are launching can be like a pretty significant reward for people who even didn't have to do a ton of initial capital, but I guess they lended their user expertise to the team or whatever during alpha or during testing time, and then they get rewarded for that. So I think being on the lookout for these type of opportunities is a great way to build your bankroll kind of going in this bull.
Yeah, that's well said. Yeah, I think the best ones are when it's not promised, right? If they say there's going to be an airdrop, it's probably not going to be great, or it's going to be over farmed. But if you're just engaging just because you enjoy the thing, or you just because you like it, and then they end up having a token, that's where you gig a cook. I guess I will shout out two games that I am actively playing instead of talking about the ones of days past. At the moment, we're running the shit out of Oh Baby Man. We've got an MVHQ guild. We're ranked like top 100 in guilds. I think like 70 or something like that. But we're kind of kicking ass. The game's fun. It's just Mario Kart, man. Just Mario Kart on chain, and they've done like some point airdrops and stuff like that. They have a marketplace for their skins and cards. So they also have boxes that you can open for the skins. You can sell the boxes. So decent potential there as far as farming. TBD as far as like real value. They have like a point system or like tokens within their game, but it's not like tradable or on chain or anything. So again, still just kind of in that phase where you're playing the game for just fun sake, and then could pay off later. And then another one that I've been knocking out each morning is the GLHF. Good luck, have fun. That's the project from Diff, the Pirate Nation guy. We did office hours with him and stuff. They just dropped a like roguelike sort of Discord game where it's basically paper rock scissors, but you progress through, fight enemies on these dungeon runs. You can do I think one a day. And then if you have additional GLHF NFTs, you can run more times. But you gather, you upgrade and you get weapons as you go throughout your run. But the main goal is to acquire silver tokens, which are a little harder to get. And they have a leaderboard that's going to come out. It sounds like they're going to do some airdrops and stuff to people that are on the leaderboard. So I don't know. I'm bullish on them because they've just been doing cool shit since they started. I think they're about a month, maybe a month and a half in. They had a really cool whitelist mechanic. They had a really cool auction mechanic. And now they have sort of a Discord game crawler. So I think they're just really in tune. Pirate Nation's kind of the king of on-chain games, and Death has had a BD over there, so I don't think he's going to fumble the bag. But yeah, that's one that I'm playing. Those two are ones that I'm pretty much playing every day, if nothing else, just to like knock out like the daily quests stuff.
I love it. I need to play
There
that.
you go.
So I don't know why I'm debating about it. Is the Oh Baby cart? Is that a big time commitment, or like what's that?
It depends. So not really. The games are short. So they have a race royale mode. It's like a battle royale, but like kart racing. So like each lap, it eliminates like, a quarter of the people until it's like one person left. I mean, the max time for a course is probably, I don't know, like 2.5 minutes, something like that. So, 2-minute race they're shorter maps. Some of them are like, 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes, but, pretty easy to knock out. Now, if you're going for the weekly, though, that's where it can be a little challenging. It looks like they did actually just roll out a quality of life update this morning. It used to be like your weekly could be win 10 duo races. It's going to take you all week, and you're going to have to run about 30 races just because your duo partner sucks unless you get like a good team. And it's still, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 hours, depending on how good you are. So those can be challenging. But it looks like they actually switched that up where you can choose the types of races that you want as of this morning. So if there was a big time commitment, it looks like they're addressing that and chipping away at it. Oh, Skako just pinged me. They started the Good Luck Have Fun. They started a $2,500 contest today for the weekly leaderboard. So that's interesting, dude. I'm getting my ass kicked on there, Skako. I don't know if you're having more luck than me. I know you're a whale over there, so you could probably have infinite lives. But yeah, I'm getting my teeth kicked in by the paper rock scissors AI that just perfectly predicts each time. Oh, and then Jake, one more, just salt in the wound. That world coin, man. That was the other thing that you mentioned in the monologue, bro. I've got a post in failures where I bought some world coin and then it dumped and I sold it, and that was at like $3. But I couldn't make sense of the valuation. I was like, what the hell? Like, OpenAI is not worth as much as what he wants for world coin. Like, what the fuck? So I just dumped it. Felt so dumb, and then now it's doing X's, which is just silly. I'm gonna have to just bump the failure post. It's the same post, but just now it's a new failure.
Yeah, it's so weird. The like whole FDV thing, I'm still like trying to wrap my head around. I know it's just like there's just such low circulating supply that I don't know. It just feels like one of those things where it's not sustainable, the pump, but like it's great for people that got in. I don't know, because right now it's the fourth highest FTV of like all crypto coins.
Insane. Yeah,
fully
insanity.
diluted value. Um, so yeah.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, lots of threads to pull on there as far as like where to take the conversation. We've talked about free money games. I mean, these are all sort of themes that we're going to see for the week. Before we get into the stuff to look out for, though, I just want to do just really quickly just some housekeeping stuff like MVHQ updates. I should call it housekeeping. It's more exciting than that. It's not work. It's exhilarating. But yeah, MVHQ just some mission updates. We're cooking along. We've got 2.6 million mints on the Bear Chain Volume 1, which is fucking insane. 1.2 million on Blast. Like, we're going full throttle here. The Blast Penguins mission ended last night. We had a total of 7,810 participants. If you missed that mission, don't sweat it. We do have another 135 spots for MVHQ members specifically. That's ongoing over an active allow list. There's a few other, there's like 3 total going on. So make sure you enter in all of those. The Pirate Nation mission is going to end in 4 days. This mission was one of the ones that went up in like the first batch of missions. So you've probably done it already, but go ahead and double check just to make sure so you're not missing out. You could get a Pirate Nation beta invite and a free Pirate Mint. So all the other missions are open for more than 7 days. So no need to rush there. But I just wanted to give a quick shout out on the app, platform, the missions. Make sure you guys are not missing these, the allow lists as well. Looking forward to the week, I can pause there, and Jake, if there's anything you want to lead us with. But yeah, we've got a few mints coming up, actually, some gaming stuff. But is there anything that's catching your eye there, Jake, for the week?
Yeah, I got a couple things. Some smaller things. If you're just a reminder, the alt claim, so ALT, for TIA stakers, JD. Again, we got to shout out JD because he always comes with a fire. Really letting us know with his weekly preview. If you want to check his field reports, give him a bless if it's helping you. But in it, yeah, he talks about there's the alt claim that's going on for the TIA stakers. I know there's probably a good amount of TIA stakers in MVHQ. Anyone who staked 35 TIA or more before the 17th of January is eligible. I think honestly you might have already had to register your ETH, but I guess it's just a reminder that that's going to drop. Yeah, if you want to touch on the mints, you can. Before I do have some in-depth thing I want to go into, but you can kind of touch on some upcoming mints before that.
For sure, we'll do. All right, so going in order here, tomorrow we have a mint called here. I'm going to drop these links here in voice hangout chat for everybody. Boom, here we go. Tomorrow we've got Palette. This is the first ERC 404 art collection. So Pandora, we've talked about the 404s for a few consecutive weeks now. This could be something. Supply 69.69, mid price of 0.1 ETH. So yeah, check that one out if you're interested in potentially getting the new chain narrative. We talked about it. So yeah, this will be the first art collection on a new protocol. Moving on the 22nd, we've got 2 hyped gaming mints, like very hyped. The first one is Revolting Games. This one's an Animoca partner. It's going to be dropping on OpenSea. They're making the game Skyborn Legacy. That one is going to be a 5,000 supply at a 0.3 ETH mint price. And then lastly, we have Persona, which I almost missed here. It looks like they've sort of recently snuck in and announced the mint date as of the last 5 hours, but I know that one is extremely hyped. It's going to be on the 22nd. It's going to be a 0.069 ETH for whitelist. And then the public is interesting. It's going to be an auction from 0.069 to 0.29 max on the auction, and they claim no gas war, which is interesting. I would think that these would go at 0.29 instantly just based off the hype. So I don't know how an auction is going to solve that and also not be a gas war. Be an interesting one to watch. But those are the 3 hot drops that I've got for the week. If you guys have other ones that you're looking out for or anticipating, be sure to let us know here in Voice Hangout chat. If you guys have any thoughts on these, you can feel free to jump up here and give us some more context as well.
The couple things. The pallet drop that you mentioned, I think that's interesting. So is this in? You might have already said this, but is this in partnership with Pandora?
Yes, I believe. Well, I think so. I'm pretty sure that Pandora has posted about them and is like sharing their stuff.
Yeah, I see
So
Pandora
there's
in
some
like, their
sort of
bio.
connection. Yeah, some sort of connection there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into more of this. Honestly, admittedly, I haven't looked into this one or the revolving games one. Persona, though, on the other hand, I completely didn't realize that one was this week. It looks like they just announced it this morning. Maybe they announced it earlier.
The Persona one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they just had said February 2024. I think was the previous info we had, and then they updated. They gave a date and min price, and like the auction sort of mechanics, which again seem interesting to me. It seems like it's going to sell out quick.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys haven't looked in Persona. I would recommend it just because, in my opinion, like I think the art's awesome. Like I think it's really, really good. It's, in my opinion, probably the best art I've seen since Azuki. Um, so it's kind of like the anime style, and the fact that there's kind of the other things that they're doing around the brand is impressive too. Like their website looks really nice. They kind of have like this AI chat bot within it. They have a really cool, kind of anime teaser trailer as well, that they've already built. So it seems pretty high quality. The team behind it. So in my opinion, I think also we've seen these other NFTs doing well recently. We've seen ETH in general doing well recently. I think there was a lot of focus around soul NFTs, in the past few months, and it feels like there's a bit of a maybe not like full on shift, but certainly a bit of an attention shift back towards ETH stuff right now. And I think these could, in my opinion, do really well. I'm certainly going to be participating in this because I really, really like the art. It's just really good in my opinion. It seems like other people are at least in a similar wavelength to this. I don't know if anyone has any Persona, thoughts or other information around the mint. I'd love to hear it. I've honestly only looked decently briefly into it, like watched the video, checked out the website, saw some of the art, and was pretty sold on it right away. Yeah.
Yeah, my exposure, my experience was the same as yours. It's like I got to it late. There's already 250K followers on Twitter. I'm like, what is this? What's going on? Yeah, poked around the website, chatted with the AI bot. Seemed pretty cool. Or well, I use the word chatted loosely. It kind of just instructed me on how to apply for whitelist. But the same sort of feeling though. Saw the art, saw the website, and was like, wow, yeah, this is gonna cook. It's like one of those ones where it's just green light. You're like, yeah, no sort of really doubt that this is going to do well. But yeah. Do you have something, Seinfeld, or are we bouncing around in your pocket?
Yeah, again, this show is, kind of a open forum of sorts. We want everyone to get involved. So if you do have takes, we'd certainly love to hear them. If anyone wants to join in, don't be shy around here.
Does anyone have a whitelist? I would love to hear a story from somebody that has whitelist on Persona. All good, all good. One thing that I did want to ask you about, Jake, even if you don't have a big take or anything, just because it's not forward looking, so apologies. But just I wanted to hear your thoughts about the Yuga Moonbird acquisition. Did you have any hot take there, or is it sort of you just confused as the rest of the space about it?
Yeah, I was confused. Honestly, I feel like I don't have enough context because I don't know. I saw that they did like a whole town hall. Yuga did, kind of explaining more, and it seemed like people felt good after that town hall. So I honestly, I've been out for most of the weekend, so I don't know what happened there. So I feel like I can't give like a full fledged take. I'd say my initial reaction was like, "What the fuck? Like, why would you do this? Why would you bring Kevin Rose on as an advisor? Like, people hate him." And also, it seems like it's diluting the ecosystem even more, and like it seemed very bearish for apes in general because just that many more NFTs that Yuga has to try and provide value for. But again, I know there was a town hall where it seemed like there was some bullish sentiment coming out of it, but I honestly have no clue what was said. So if anyone listening to town hall could give like any type of TLDR, I'd love to hear more.
Yeah, I'll give a pause here if anybody has a take. I've kind of just been like you said, this sort of knee-jerk reaction is like, what? But yeah, I appreciate your measured approach of saying you haven't heard the town hall and the full details there.
I didn't listen to the town hall, but I was heavily in 10 KTF when Yuga bought it, and that has not gone well.
Yeah,
that
I've
is
heard
that is facts. Yeah, it's like, oh look, our new baby, and then they just like tossed it into the basement and never gave it a bottle again.
Not just that, they just killed everything that was planned. And I guess Moonbirds is a little bit different because they, it was already kind of dead, right? But 10 KTF had so much going on and so much planned for the future, and Yuga ended up pretty much killing it and throwing all of those resources into other side.
Yeah, well said. It was painful. I think I said in a video, whatever happens with NKTF, I'm here for the ride. I have since literally floored everything. It's like all the world building, everything that they had built towards and was everyone was excited for. It's just pretty much dead. So yeah, it definitely hasn't gone well on the 10 KTF side for sure. Scocko's saying here they did it for the treasury, implied that it's 70 million in the Moonbird treasury. Interesting. So it's just for the investors, just to make A16Z happy.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, maybe this is just our snap back to reality that holders, we do not like, they don't care about us. You know what I mean? Like when the investors need to be happy, it's going to be priority number one.
Are you familiar with the term enshittification?
I am. Yes.
I think that's what Yuga's in the middle of right now is enshittification, where the beginning, for people who don't know, it's the life cycle of usually a tech company, where the point in the early days is to increase user value, which would be the people who bought NFTs, like just pump that, make this great, have lots of parties, make it seem like everything's amazing, get as many people in to your project as possible. And then they shift to enshittification, which is extracting all that value out of the users and into the shareholders.
Yep, exactly. When they start splitting all the features into separate paid packages, or just features start going missing or don't get updates, like what's going on with this fucking insert website or app or product? And you're like, what the fuck's going on? Yeah, enshittification, man. They're trying to twist those levers and squeeze some money. Yeah, they got to monetize at some point. So it's like they've been just dumping I mean, what they're doing now isn't directly making them money, but it's just like they've been giving out so much value, I guess, for so long. Now they have to like figure out how is this profitable again? Like, we can't make more NFTs. Like, what are we going to do? At least please the shareholders for now, so that if they need more money, that well is not dry, I guess.
Scott, are you around to chat and voice at all? Just text. I mentioned, seemed like you listened to the AMA. I was going to get his take. Okay, doesn't look like he's around. That's all right.
Oh,
wait, I'm muted. The suspense. Always having some issues. That's all right. After
this, give him a second here, but I'd love to hear what you had kind of hinted at that you were looking at for the week. If it's a, you said it's not a drop, so you got me curious over here.
Yeah. Scott, we got you? Oh, there we are.
Yeah, I swear, trying to get the tech to connect.
Let's go.
Hey, congratulations on the engagement too, and the birthday.
Hey, thank you, man. Much appreciate it. Yeah, no, it's been some big life stuff for me lately.
Yeah, no kidding. That's awesome.
Thank you, man.
You were talking about Yuga. Yeah, I mean, I caught the AMA. It was funny. It was the most or the least degen thing ever. Like Daniel Allegre, the CEO, he read from a prepared statement that went on for like 10 minutes or so before he turned it over to Garga, and the call got a little more human. But I mean, the main thing he just kept emphasizing was the treasury, and that the reason that they did the deal, which led me to think that it was A16Z was behind it, so that they could sort of align their investments and just bring everything under Yuga, which still had like forward momentum. he said, like, oh, I've seen the figures on Twitter, people saying 50 million, 60 million. It's a lot more than that we got.
Interesting. Okay. So what was it? They basically paid Kevin Rose in like Yuga stock and not cash, so they could acquire the treasury.
Correct.
Yeah, that was completely undefined how much Kevin Rose got. Saw like Rose quickly changed his Twitter to advisor to Yuga and then had to remove it like a minute later. So they very much downplayed that he will have anything to do other than just like transition of the team over to Yuga, which the team is coming over. Proof is going to continue on, but they didn't really say in what capacity or what assets they're going to give to like the 1,000 proof holders. And then, like 3 or 4 times he reinforced the sizable treasury that they received for taking over proof and the entire Moonbirds ecosystem.
Okay. Well, I feel like my reaction would be like it's bullish for all the proof stuff and probably bearish for Yuga stuff, but bullish and then it's all over Kevin Rose running the show, who seems like he's just trying to soft rug since day one.
Dude, I would love to be a fly on the wall to hear that call when they were like, no, you can't put it in your bio. He's like, what? Really? I thought this was part of the deal. They're like, take it off. Everyone hates you. Like, I would have loved to hear that.
I'm sure it was a part of the deal until they realized, oh shit, everyone is not going to like that. Everyone complained about it.
Shocker.
Did you guys see the insider trading apparently from that buy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I forget his name, but he wrote a thread on it.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed people talking about how the floor was pumping a bunch beforehand, and people were already talking about, oh, something's happening with Moonbirds. I should have just fucking sent it just from seeing that price action ahead of time, even though I didn't know anything. But sometimes you can kind of just tell that there's going to be some kind of insider news happening because the pump came out of nowhere. But that's like every Yuga thing. It's always there's insiders.
They always know. We know 2 days before an announcement that an announcement's coming. Appreciate you jumping up here, Scott Co, and filling us in here, having your ears to the ground.
Yeah, thank you, Scott Co. Thank you, Stark.
I have a question for you guys. I'm not sure if we hopped into it before, but do you guys have any projects that you're looking forward to on Blast mainnet launch? So it could be dApps or anything, really.
I don't know. I don't really have anything specific right now. I haven't like dug into it enough, just because like I can't really do anything with Blast yet, So I guess I haven't really allocated my time to research these projects any in depth. I mean, I've heard of a good amount. Like obviously MVHQ, we're partnering with a lot of them, but there's not really any specific one that I guess would stand out to me at the moment, just because I have not done enough research to like have any type of conviction.
See, a similar boat here. I mean, based on the turnout for Blast Penguins, if I get whitelisted, I'll be super bullish on them. I'll be a maxi.
Yeah, I mean, those are good. It seems like those have got a good amount of hype. I think any type of like coin or NFT that's launching day one that's like quality and has some type of community backing will probably do pretty well, just because there's just so much insane TVL and stuff. I'm sure next week's episode we're probably going to be very heavily Blast focused, because I think they're announcing the launch date sometime this week, and I anticipate it being next week based on what Pac-Man said in AMA.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was looking through to see if I could find the list of Twitter accounts. So there's some accounts that will gather up like everything that's been built on Blast. I highly recommend going through those, especially ahead of next week. That way, like what you want to farm or gain, because there's a lot of projects that are using their dev rewards for users. Like Blaster Shop is one of them. Thruster, I know we're partnered with. Definitely check them out. But all of these projects are really aiming to do an airdrop, like I want to say in the next quarter. Like a lot of them are having that conversation, and everything is going to revolve around Blast. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of airdrops to come around, especially in the Blast ecosystem. So I would get ahead. while you still can.
I got a good Twitter thread for that. I'll post it.
Oh, sweet.
Thank you, sir.
Let's go. Yeah, I was just
Isn't
about to
tomorrow. Aren't they streaming the Big Bang competition winners?
I don't know. It's good call. I'm not sure.
Hey,
But,
Yeah, those will be
there's-
ones to certainly look at.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. That would be a good starting point because those are going to be the ones that they're going to market heavily.
Yeah, it'll be quality. They'll market them heavily, and they're going to get a token allocation that, probably likely to pass on some of the rewards to the users too. So
Starkweather just shared a tweet in Voice Hangout chat. Really good list of all the Blast projects. Mark my words, do not sleep on number 18. I'll put my life on it.
hell yeah. Yeah, I guess just to wrap that up, I'm sure we're probably going to go pretty in depth on it next week, with it being, I would anticipate that's going to be Blast Week and the launch and everything. But just my take on it is, I think, I already said this a little bit, but I think just in general, the Blast ecosystem and everything launching there is going to be ripe with opportunities. And cooks abound for people. It's just such a good, I guess, pool of like, I'm not sure the right analogy to use, but basically, like they're gonna have. There's already what, like, I'm not even sure what the TVL is, like almost 2 billion, something around there, in funds, just sitting over there that no one can do anything with right now. That is accruing points to earn, obviously, the Blast token, and people will be able to do something with them, right, on chain, starting in February. And they'll be able to remove it, right, from chain too if they want to, but they lose pretty big multipliers or their points if they do move it off the chain. So you want to think like, look, I want to be able to use these funds. I haven't been able to use them for this long. They're now unlocked. But if I want to continue to garner these points until May, when the actual Blast airdrop is, then I'm gonna probably want to keep the funds on chain and use them for stuff on the Blast ecosystem, which the Blast itself is heavily rewarding creators. So there's a ton of apps and dApps and NFTs and projects and stuff that are launching right away because they want to get rewarded with Blast too. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities. There's going to be shit coins. There's going to be NFTs. There's going to be DeFi protocols. There's going to be a lot of things that you can use the funds on for there. So it's just going to be basically like a hub of activity, I think. And it's a really smart design by Pac-Man and the team, in my opinion. And I just think it's going to be a Blast season here for a little while, at least a little while, I should say. Kind of like how they did such a great job engineering Blur to capture market share. I think it's just going to be the similar thing here with Blast that we've already seen, and there's going to be a ton of opportunities. So great shout, Poppy, on kind of getting ahead of it. It doesn't hurt, certainly, to get ahead of the pack and start doing some research now on kind of how you want to allocate some of your funds or how you want to make some plays in the ecosystem. There's a lot of, honestly, like, especially for people who even like bridged over, there's going to be a lot of like even like free claims for tokens and airdrops and stuff too, which is going to be pretty nice.
Smells like a field report is incoming. It's a good opportunity if anybody wants to delve into the Blast stuff and help the whole community get a head start. Sounds like there's a lot of interest, demand there. So who knows?
Yeah, again, just emphasize it because every call I've had, everyone's doing an airdrop. So, definitely don't want people to sleep on it and then, feel like they got left out later on. I really appreciate that shout.
Yeah. Poppy, Seinfeld, number one boots on the ground. These guys are having calls every day with teams, to try and land them as partners with MVHQ, and so he certainly knows what's going on behind the scenes with these teams. So we really appreciate you lending that insight, Poppy.
Anytime.
Man, airdrops, field reports. Jake, this would be a fantastic segue into the field report roundup if you'd let me.
Of course.
All right, let's get it. So yeah, I'm going to go through just some field reports that MVHQ has put out in the past week. I'm going to try to do this each week just so that we're not missing stuff and everybody is getting their flowers and recognition for their hard work. So ripping through them, do it real quick. I know we're coming up to the top of the hour here. We can go over, of course, but just want to be cognizant of everybody's time. Metarova had he shared a testnet farming list. This is highlighting upcoming airdrop opportunities that have super low risk because they're all testnets. It's 8 different testnets with links and instructions on how to farm them. So shout out Metarova. Botwin dropped a field report on how to farm rainbow wallet rewards using Kinza Finance. So that's 2 airdrops in one. He included very thorough step-by-step screenshot instructions and a full just sort of breakdown and analysis of his method. Corruption, Seth dropped 2 field reports. He dropped one on the L2 mode and its upcoming airdrop. He also posted the ultimate airdrop guide, which is pretty much one list of like every upcoming airdrop, it seems, or at least most of them all in one place for you. So definitely lots of airdrop heavy field reports this week. And then also we had 2 from Aslo. He did week 3 of February, and he also dropped Pivot, Recessions, Information Asymmetry, and Jupiter. That was a bit of a mouthful. They're hard to summarize, but if I had to describe them, I would say they are a sort of stream of consciousness from Aslo, sort of sharing his thoughts on the market and specific projects that he's bullish on. So really good field reports for the week. Gentlemen, if any of you contributors want to jump up and say anything, this would be a fantastic time, but we do appreciate you guys for contributing so consistently.
Hey, so yeah, I'll build on top of what Jake said earlier. I don't have much to say that's much different than Jake. I guess in my mind, maybe the only like slight nuance might be that I feel like in general we're in obviously like a bull market, and that's where the momentum is going right now. I just feel like in these few days we're in this little bit of awkward lull right now. We're just kind of waiting for a bit of a break, but this with ETH moving right now, that may be it. That may be the start of it, kind of going that direction. And with the pathway to 58K, like you said, Jake, and otherwise, like that might be enough at this point, right? So that would be maybe my only comment that I would say. But I just really believe that. I guess if I had to like distill, I see 2 patterns that are kind of standing out. It's one, I feel like there's a really, really good opportunity in aggregate of people sleeping on NFTs or getting fed up. Everyone's getting annoyed that like things aren't moving fast, that MARMs aren't moving fast, or whatever else. And I think with that's going to come a really good opportunity that exists to get things that are just as fantastic, but at a discount. And at some point are going to turn, which is really, really great. And then I think the other comment is something that I think THC, you said it earlier, which is just that kind of like carving your own pathway, right? Of like not going where all the traffic is necessarily as it relates to farming, as it relates to everything else. And just, having specific conviction in whatever you think it is, but going towards something that's not crowded in theory. I think those are the 2 things that stand out to me, but I have not much else to add to you guys who gave a great rundown.
Hey, we appreciate it, sir. Yeah, I think, plenty more to add, I'm sure, but you've already packed it into the field report. So go check those out if you guys have not yet already. These happen quick. I mean, hell, we just did it, a week ago in Wake and Shake, and there was 6 or 7 to talk about. So looking at a field report a day roughly. So a lot to keep up with you guys. So just, be mindful that this is where a lot of the heavy alpha lies and a lot of the heavy research and sort of value intensive stuff that's being provided for members. So don't sleep on the field reports, but yeah, happy to give them a quick little spotlight. But we can move on. Jake, you've been hinting all episode, man. This is getting hyped up now. I got to know what are you looking at this week, man? You said there's something on your radar, but you hinted that it wasn't a drop necessarily. I'm dying to know what you're cooking.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to tease you guys as much. Just kind of how it fell. Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Like we'll see if this is a good opportunity or not. But I did want to talk about something that has also already been brought up in MVHQ. I just don't think there's been a big spotlight shine on it yet. And I kind of wanted to go over Merlin chain and as well as a couple of coins on there as well. So Merlin chain is Bitcoin L2 that just dropped about a few weeks ago is when they launched their mainnet. It's powered by the Bitmap team, so that's who funded it. Bitmaps are a very popular ordinals collection. as well. And this chain, this Merlin layer 2 chain, has already garnered quite a bit of interest. I think they have about let me do some quick math. What's 11,000 Bitcoin? Yeah, I feel like they might be close to almost a billion TVL now, within their staking program, um, as well as some others, like coins and such, just on chain. So yeah, I guess a quick little rundown. I'm not like super into the tech of these layer twos. I'll certainly admit that. If someone has any any insights there, I'd very much appreciate it. But basically what I understand is that it integrates a ZK rollup. It seems pretty similar to these other like Ethereum L2s and how it works. It's a one ZK rollup, decentralized Oracle network, and on-chain Bitcoin fraud proof modules. I'd be lying if I could say that I could fully articulate to you guys what all of that means. But I at least wanted to give the heads up in case anyone else could. Basically, from what I understand it, the settlement layer is Bitcoin itself, similar to how the settlement layer of these L2s is Ethereum itself, the mainnet chain, right? Where so you kind of utilize the security and the decentralization of the main chain. In this case, it'd be Bitcoin, while allowing a lot cheaper transactions. But right now transactions on Merlin chain are less than $1. I think it's around like 50 cents usually, something like that. And it's a lot quicker, right? It's much quicker for a transaction on Merlin chain than it is for Bitcoin, where it could sometimes take an hour for a block to be confirmed. A lot of these Merlin chain things can be confirmed within seconds. So a big improvement in terms of tech for these chains. It's again trying to solve a similar problem that Ethereum L2s are trying to solve, right? And this isn't the only L2 for sure. I think Stacks is probably the most prominent one. I honestly don't know if they are fully considered L2. Again, not enough in the weeds to know exactly the definition, but it's a scaling solution similar to Stacks, which is probably the most popular one at the moment. Again, I'm calling out this chain because I think there's some opportunities here, possibly. One of them is actually a shit coin, a meme coin that was shared. A huge shout out to Charlie, OG Whale Charlie, in this group. He shared it in shitcoin trading chat called Hoo. He shared it at like 200K market cap, like within like the first hour that it was deployed. And it's at probably, I think it's around like 13 million right now. So it was a huge cut for a lot of members who ended up getting in to that coin. But there's some other important content. I'm not sure. I would not like recommending that you buy this coin after a big pump, but I think there's some important context here. It was the first coin deployed on the chain itself, and the contract was active 2 days before the chain even went live. So people are speculating, that it's by either the team or some type of big insiders. The team claims it wasn't them, but it had to be some type of insiders for them to be able to be active on it before the chain even went live, that contract. And then also the deployer of this coin is about 2 transactions removed from a wallet that holds about $900 million in Bitcoin. So people are speculating that it's, some obviously gigantic whale that, or this whale's good friend that actually deployed this contract. So why I'm bringing this up is that there's actually another coin launching on Merlin chain, 2 different ones that I think are the opportunity here. So there's a coin called Voya. Again, Charlie, the one bringing the heat with this alpha. So don't bless me, bless Charlie. If this does end up cooking for you, if you get into it. There's this coin called Voya. It's the first ERC20 fair launch on this Merlin chain. And it seems that they're going to be launching the entire supply. If this is how I understand this, this Medium article, I'm going to share it right now for you guys in voice hangout chat, so you can read more about it. But it's being launched by the official swap site of Merlin chain, maybe not the official swap site, but it's the biggest and might be the only right now, called Merlin Swap, and they're the ones launching this token. And there's an opportunity to get in on this airdrop. The airdrop is happening on the 21st, so in 2 days, and you can get it by a few different ways. You can get it if you just have Bitcoin on the chain itself, worth 0.01 Bitcoin or more. So that's about, I don't know, I think it's like $500 right now in Bitcoin. A little more than that. And you can also get it by, that's worth 140K, hoo or more. Or if you're in the LP with Merlin Swap, for whatever amount. By the way, if anyone summarizes this and wants to put it in like time-sensitive info or a field report or something, I think people would vastly appreciate that, and I will certainly bless you. I hope others would bless you for that too. I could try and do a little something on this. Sorry, it's a little bit in depth, but bear with me here. Again, 0.01 Bitcoin. This whole Medium article has it too. But so basically, you can get this airdrop, right? This Voya BRC20 airdrop. I believe it's full supply. Anything not claimed, which the claim window only lasts for 2 days. It's from the 21st, so Wednesday, till the 23rd, Friday. Anything unclaimed goes to the LP and acts as liquidity for it. And you can get it basically just by having Bitcoin on the chain, right? So you don't really have to spend anything. Or you could buy Hoo instead if you wanted to, and that would be a way of getting it. So personally, I'm going to be doing this on multiple wallets. I'm not sure how many yet, but I'm certainly going to be spreading them out with both Hoo and Bitcoin in an attempt to get this airdrop. It's basically like, look, if you're bullish on Bitcoin, you already have some Bitcoin, and you plan on holding it, you can just transfer this Bitcoin over to Merlin chain and hold it there, and then you get a free airdrop. And then I guess the biggest thing is right now we're not fully, you can't bridge out at the moment. Charlie said that he had some insider tell him that it might be in 2 days that you can bridge out, but they haven't given an official date, or at least I haven't been able to find one. So that's kind of the biggest variable here is we're not 100% sure when you can bridge your funds out. So it's a bit of a blast situation. And in that regard, but if you are just already planning on holding Bitcoin, already bullish on Bitcoin, you have some around, then I don't think it really hurts much to at least bridge some over and hold it there if you wanted to. And then you get this Voya airdrop, which again is launched by the DEX. It's the first fair launch airdrop on this chain itself. And all that being said, the Merlin official token has not launched yet. It's called Merl. That's not launching until March. And there is speculation that just being an active user, right, kind of how a lot of airdrops work, just being an active user on the chain gets you that airdrop as well. So, and also speculation that maybe if you contribute to this LP or if you swap on this Merlin chain, like they're going to have their own airdrop. So there's potential here for qualifying there's for sure you qualify for one airdrop. There's potential to qualify for 3 different airdrops in one. And it's on, again, something I'm bullish on, just the Bitcoin ecosystem in general. I think there's just so much money there. I think, now that we have some technology in Bitcoin that it, I guess, allows, reduces friction of using the chain, using its assets. I think there could be, it's now that it's a little more user friendly. I think there could be a lot of new up and coming opportunities on Bitcoin itself this cycle, just because there's so much money there. It's still the biggest coin by far. In crypto, everyone knows Bitcoin. I just think it's so obvious that there's going to be huge opportunities. So I want to try and get ahead of them when I can. I think this might be a good one. So again, and there's opportunity to do it with very little, fees as well. If you already have, right, these coins themselves, an opportunity to fly multiple airdrops at once. So again, that's the opportunity that I was teasing. Feel free. We talked about it a bit in Shitcoin chat. I think Ordinal chat's probably talked about this too. So either one of those, if you want to chat it up more about this, I know I'm gonna be deploying funds to try and farm this. Hopefully it's worth something nice. We'll see. But yeah, that's my spiel.
Wow, and you did not disappoint, sir. Okay, just real quick. It was Voya, and what's the name of the other one?
Hoo is the meme coin.
All right, sorry, I totally heard you all 12 times you said it. Our audience just wanted to hear you say it one more time, so I had to give them a little fan service on the hoo. No, yeah, did not disappoint, man. This sounds like it has potential to be a cook, like you said, potentially 3 ways. That's pretty phenomenal. Good deal. Yeah, this is very interesting. And then, again, just a reminder, little echo back to Jake, sort of semi requesting some sort of write up on this. If anybody has an editorial itch, this seems like a good one that you could dive into and maybe write something up for the fam.
Here's a couple other notes. You can do this. You can use MetaMask for this L2, which is nice. As far as your wallet goes, so you can add the Merlin chain RPC, and you basically what you can do is you can swap from like ETH to wrapped Bitcoin, and then you bridge that wrapped Bitcoin over to the Merlin chain. That's how I did it. So you could just do so in your MetaMask, and it kind of works similar to like an ETH L2, where you can just bridge over. You just have to use wrapped Bitcoin instead of normal ETH. Yeah, beautiful. We can actually get a Merlin chain thread going. That's a good call, Stark. And then we can talk about it in there.
Another shout out from chat here. JD says he just put up a field report on 30 blast projects. People want to get started. The man was already cooking it up. We forced his hand. So we've got another field report up live during the show. We love to see it. Oh, and one more question for you, Jake. Tonk was asking a question. He's kind of got chat tail spinning a bit here. When you were talking about the blast, sort of the liquidity in blast, were you saying that the staked blast stuff, you'll be able to buy shitcoins with it? Or is that just a misunderstanding of the word stake here? Because it seems like maybe being staked is just having it bridged into blast. Maybe just a touch of clarification there.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with blast is that it's liquid, right? It's you're earning fees on the ETH just for being over there. Just for having like your money on blast itself. Like it's hard to I guess we haven't really seen that yet because you can't do anything with ETH right now. But once it goes live, then you'll be able to use the ETH, right, for however you want on the chain itself. As long as you still have custody of it, of the ETH itself, then you're going to accrue points with it. Is how I understand it.
Yeah, I guess that's the part
I don't
where
think
I was
there's any
lost.
officially staking on blast.
Okay. Cool. That was going to be my question. Like, yeah, the custody was a great word there. Cause like, that's what I was envisioning. Like if you had it locked into a blast vault or something, like obviously you can't go shitcoin and degen with it. But yeah, if we're using the term staking as just having it in blast, then yeah, it seems like you'd be free to do what you please. So just, yeah, it's a good clarification there. Let's see. So we're over the hour. We can feel free to cut and run at any time here. I did want to say the Starknet claim is tomorrow. I don't really see anyone being excited about that anymore. It's probably a big old nothing burger, but hey, who knows? Maybe the low airdrop allocation to everyone could be some positive price action. I don't know. Trying to find a silver lining here. Nobody has any, so if you want some, you're gonna have to market buy. Didn't really get hooked up for being an early ETH adopter or anything like that. But yeah, just a shout. There'll probably be some action tomorrow. I saw somebody had posted the other day in Voice Hangout chat. It was like all-time or daily active users on Starknet had dropped to like 7,000 or something from like 220. I thought that was pretty hilarious. I did go pull up their browser though, and it's at like 60K for the other day. So maybe it was just early in the morning, but it was a funny ass screenshot. It just looked like it completely had died out. But either way, worthy of a shout for tomorrow.
7,000 is still way too high for them, by the way.
I knew something was coming. Yeah, I actually personally agree. I couldn't think of 7,000 people that would want to use that. But Merlin, on the other hand, sounds pretty tight.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope we can cook on it.
Yes, sir. We appreciate the shout. Well, Jake and company, that's all I've got for the week ahead. Jake, do you have anything else that you wanted to pepper in before we close things out here?
No, that's about it. Thank you all for joining us. If you guys have anything else we want to touch on real quick, from the crowd, the community. Happy to. Otherwise, we can wrap it up.
The first one of these that I was able to join, gentlemen, and I just want to say that I really enjoy it. It's great. It's do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
We appreciate that, man. Yeah. If it's your first one, yeah, we'll just kind of reiterate. It's a disclaimer we give at the top. It's super open, man, like open mic, open forum conversation here. So if you ever have a topic you want to drop us a zinger, a funny line, or if you have a take or anything like that, feel free to jump in anytime, brother. Noon Eastern each Monday.
People hear from me too much. It's okay. I'll give this one to you guys.
No, we love it, man. We love it. Well, sweet. Yeah, we appreciate you guys being here. We'll go ahead and cut things here. We'll see you guys again next week, same time. Holiday or not, apparently, we're going to be here. So expect us. But yeah, we appreciate all you guys. And yeah, good luck on all the cooks this week.